Today we are going to look at a rather large portable monitor. This is the UPERFECT UMax 22. I've looked at a lot of smaller portable monitors, but I'm like, you know what, if I'm going to go somewhere and set up a thing and use it for a while, I want something a little bit bigger, something a little bit more premium, something a little bit more professional. So this is a 1440p 22-inch monitor. It's an IPS screen, giving you 100% of the sRGB gamut. One of the things that I like the most about this is it has an integrated stand. I know that's kind of a weird thing, but I feel like all of those different monitors out there with the floppy little cardboard plasticky stands that you have to fold into place, that immediately makes me feel like, oh, this is junk. Even if the monitor's decent, it's like, this is junk. This one has a metal fold-out stand that is firm and stays in place. And above and beyond that, they did send me two mounts that we're going to test out in just a second. But first off, I'm going to show you the monitor, and I'm going to talk about all the different options that we have with it and go through the specs. I use OEM keys for a few different reasons. This is the price you're going to pay for Windows 11 Pro if you get a retail key. Let's check those prices on whokeys.com. $30, we can do better. Put in TS25, click apply. There we go, $23.22. Let's say you want to get a copy of Windows 10 Pro. Let's click on buy it now. Coupon code TS25, hit apply, and watch that price come down. There we go. The other thing is OEM keys are generally locked to your hardware. So if you move it from one motherboard to another, you may need to get another key, but you'll have to get many keys to equal the price of one retail key. If you need Office, you're also going to be able to get those same deals, 25% off on Office 2019 and 2016. These are offline versions of Office without monthly fees. Let's go ahead and check out with our copy of Windows 11 Pro. All right, just put in my card info. There we go. Click on View Keys and Codes. Once you get to the User Center, click on Get the Key. You'll see your key right here in the middle. Go ahead and highlight that, copy that, hit Start, type Activate, click on Activation Settings, paste it in there, click on Next, and you will be activated. Also, everything over here is on sale and TS25 is going to work. So head over to whokeys.com. Thanks to them for sponsoring. And now on to our regularly scheduled program. All right, so first off, let's talk about the connectivity. We got a couple different USB-C ports on the side and a small HDMI port. Now the USB-C, well, you can daisy chain if you wanted to, but as long as your device can send the power and the display port signal through there, plug up the one cable, power it on, and also send the picture. So all you'll need is one cable. If you're using HDMI, you'll need to use a power source with the USB-C as well. And we do have a low blue light mode that you can turn on or off. They've gone into the whole marketing nonsense on their website here of, oh no, it's going to harm your eyes, but it don't do that. Blue light don't harm your eyes. It can mess with your sleep schedule. So turning it off at nighttime is good, but it's not going to mess your eyes up. Like, there's no evidence. Anyway, stop doing that, marketing people. Refresh rate is 60 hertz. Response time is 20 milliseconds. So not really the best gaming monitor with that sort of response time, but we'll see how it does in the tests. 1001 contrast ratio. The brightness is 300, 100% of the sRGB gamut, 16.7 million colors. And we do have HDR and also FreeSync available. Built-in speakers, we have two little 8 ohm speakers. They're 1 watt each. They sound like speakers that are 1 watt. They're there in case you need them. That's pretty much it. That's all I'm going to say there. The beautiful part of this is we have a 75 by 75 millimeter Visa stand, and we'll talk about that in just a second. Requires 16 watts to drive this. The product size is 480 by 272 by 11 millimeters, or in inches, 18.9 by 10.71 by 0.43. It weighs 1.2 kilograms, which is 2.65 pounds. Then we have one micro USB, and that's for on-the-go USB drives and stuff, which is really handy. You have a tablet or a laptop that does not have many USB ports. You plug up your monitor, and then you can plug up your peripherals to the monitor. We also have one 3.5 millimeter auxiliary audio port. It's an output. All right, let's talk about like ghosting in games, because I think that's important to a lot of different people. So what I do is I play Dusk, because Dusk has some like blocky edges, it's got some really harsh edges, and I run around and I swing my mouse around wildly to see how the ghosting is. So we're gonna hop into this, zooming in close. All right, let's take a look at this one. That's a pretty big difference right there. I guess that's that response time, but that's pretty far over there. So good ghosting there when I'm swinging around. And look at the shadow from the fireball right there. So when you're just standing straight and not swinging your mouse around, you get more of an image like this. Looks pretty good. But once you start swinging your mouse around, moving quickly, you do start to see some ghosting, like that pixel, that one there. Who's this Project 2025 enjoyer over here? So because he's got a lot of dark, and that's kind of a lighter background, so whenever you swing around, you'll see like another image of him beside there. This is not terrible. I've seen far worse from usually VA panels. So yeah, Now the ghosting and the response time don't always exactly go together. I've actually seen worse IPS, but this is not, I wouldn't call this a gaming monitor really. We call it an entertainment monitor or a professional monitor that you can use for doing editing and stuff, because it does have very good color accuracy. I mean, it's an IPS, so the blacks are not as deep as they would be on a VA or, an OLED or whatever. So yeah, no, that looks pretty good. So we'll say the ghosting test was pretty good. If you're playing a game that doesn't require like really fast reflexes and stuff, it's going to be probably okay on this monitor. A lot of the strategy games and slower games, maybe even some platformers. I played around in this, with that response time of 20 milliseconds, I thought it was going to look a lot worse when it came to playing the games. And it doesn't look that much different than something that has like a 5 millisecond response time in my opinion. So it's hard to tell. I mean, like 20 milliseconds is still a better response time than what humans have, so we can argue about this for a while. I didn't notice it too awful much when I was playing my game. Some people are going to say they will be able to notice it depending on the game that you play. I'm sure if I was playing a platformer that required a lot of precision, I might be noticing it a lot, but yeah. Otherwise, using this for documents, web browsing, doing your work, Photoshop, editing videos and stuff, it's going to be really good for that. Now the next thing we need to talk about is the price. So you're paying for the fact that it's a nice portable package with decent specs, but I feel like 309 might be a bit much because it's only 60 hertz. The response time is not that good. So I can go and I can use it for certain things, but when it comes to just playing games and stuff, I'm gonna be like, I don't know, maybe 60 hertz. There's monitors in this price range, in this size range, that are 165 hertz, 240 hertz. You can get them. There's bigger monitors that are the same price, that are 240 hertz, IPS, and the prices on these things are coming down. So I don't think it's a very good value at this price point. But like, this is what you're paying for. That's what you're going to have to weigh this against. Is the package worth it? And to some people it is going to be. I might keep it and take it with me different places, but the problem is once I finish my work and want to play a game, 60 hertz is I'll play strategy games or Monkey Island or something, but I'm not going to play like a Twitch shooter. It is what it is. All right, let's talk about the stands that we have here. So they sent over 2 different stands for me to try out. We have this Visa mount for your monitor right here, and then we also have just a regular old desktop stand, a very simple stand. Now, let's talk about this one first. It is a very simple fold-out stand. Top to bottom, 305 millimeters. This is a super basic stand, and it's $69. I don't understand why it's that expensive. I feel like $69 is way too much. The top piece of plastic right there felt really flimsy and it was falling off. It works as a stand. It is firm. It does not go anywhere. It has a very large desk footprint. A hub or something on top of there. You could lay things on top of it because it is flat. So that's okay. For $69, $129, it's not a bargain at $69 either. So the prices are just too high for a lot of these things. For instance, I could go to a thrift store, Goodwill or whatever, and find some old monitors. You look around and find one that has a stand on the back that's removable, like a Visa mount stand. Probably get that for $20-30. Throw the monitor away if you don't need it, take the stand off, and now you've got a Visa stand. You can go and find stands that are similar quality for a fraction of the price. However, their other stand is also $69, and I think this one might be worth the price because of how much you can do with it. So this is the U stand. It's very simple in its design, but we have a lot of different joints here. Now, top to bottom, 318 millimeters, 12.52 inches. I advertise this as being able to hold like portable devices like phones and tablets and stuff, but you do have a Visa mount that supports 75 or 100 millimeter mounts. And this one, you can mount your monitor vertically on this one because it's nice and tall. Now, note that the way I've got this one mounted is kind of stupid because my cables are on the bottom. They weren't long enough from where I was plugging them in to turn it the correct way. So the cable should be coming out of the top, not the bottom. So I have to kind of hold it in place to show you, but you can mount this in landscape or portrait mode, either one. Now, the next thing I like about this is there's just all the adjustability. On the bottom, there's an Allen wrench that's mounted right there. So you just take that off. You can use the Allen wrench to adjust all the different joints. Takes some finagling, a little bit here and there, because these are not like fluid bearings or there's no hydraulics or anything like that. It's not gonna it's not gonna like go into place. You have to tighten it into place. Go in just about any angle or direction. And then on the top there, that's just a little ball mount where you, like a little ball socket where you can mount your Visa mount. And that means you can just crank your device in just about any direction. You can like rotate it, twist it, pivot, swivel, tilt, swivet, pivot, anything. You can like really do a lot with it. And the base rotates around. It just clicks around 360 degree rotation. Just click, 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 click forever. I feel like this is a much higher quality stand. It's a little smaller, but I don't understand why this is the same price. So that's where we're going to leave it here for the UniFi UMax 22-inch monitor. But before we go, let's head over to epicpants.com. Right now we're having a sale. So click here. The coupon code is HappyMouse. We've got all these mouse pads half price right now after you use the coupon code. And these are premium. We don't mess around. These are better trackers than just about anything in the industry. They're thin yet firm, and the back has the best rubber because the thing I prioritized was the rubber on the back. I don't want it moving anywhere. So I found a really nice rubber company to make these, and I got the best gamer grade cloth I could and put it on top. So got a bunch of those over there. Go ahead, grab them up. See you in the comments.